respected chairperson Dr. Ratnottama Das, other panelist Professor Sanjeev, Miss Aditi, Miss Ankita, my head of the department Professor P.C. Patnaik Garu. There are so many other great, I think, legendaries. My department faculty members, Professor Nandita Basu Garu, other faculty members, Professor Rajpalam Chandrasekhar Reddy Garu, and other people. Once again, namaskar to everyone. My other panelists, they have focused mainly on theory part. Of course, I am not that much strong on theory. I want to give some kind of information from Telugu academics. For my presentation, the sources are, I have taken some information from Telugu books and especially from Veldanda Nityananda Rao Garu. His work is main source for me. What I have noticed, what I have seen in histories of Telugu literature, that I want to share information with all my people. First one is that in Telugu, I have almost all noticed there are 25 to 30 histories of Telugu literature. 4 or 5 books are available in English. There are around 20 to 25 histories of Telugu literature available in Telugu. Almost all, some of the works are, I think, given like maybe from Kandukuri Veerashalingam Pantulu to till the date. So many people they have written. Before that, there were other Kavi Jeevithamulu and other people, the writers also, they have written histories of Telugu literature. When I have seen even the histories of Telugu literature, I found a lot of interesting things. How Telugu people and the Telugu academicians, we have received Muddu Palani's Radhika Santvanam. When I look at the histories of Telugu literature, several people, they have given very brief information. I think in some books, in some histories of Telugu literature, there is no information, there is no even any kind of information of Muddu Palani. They did not even mention that. I think she is a poetess and she is very important person also. One of the important person. Some people, they have given very information, but mainly they try to focus on author's personal life than even text. It is very interesting. I was really surprised. Generally here, whether we want to focus on text or we want to focus on personal life of author. If we are going to focus on personal life of author, then we should think about everyone's personal life of authors. For example, in Telugu literature, I have seen, everyone knows, the Telugu, all Telugu audience, they know, we have a great poet, Srinatha Mahakavi. Some of the scholars, they have given title also, Srungara Srinatha Mahakavi. There are so many kavyas. The title itself is Srungara Naishadam, Srungara Shakuntalam. So there are so many Srungara kavyas even in after Prabandha period. It is very, especially in Prabandha literature, it became very common, and everyone, they try to even focus on only the erotic literature. So they have received well response, even especially in the histories of Telugu literature. They have given several pages to these authors. But when it comes to the Muddu Palani, many people, they don't want to even write about even Muddu Palani and even her work, because there they have a lot of issues. I will discuss about that issues also. Why they have, why they did not mention? Because from the beginning to even, of course, even till 1960s or maybe before that, most of the writers are from male community only. We have very less, even I think the female writers are, number is very less. That is again, everyone knows. After that, when I have seen that the scholars, why they don't want to give more importance to Muddupalani, I understood that. I think once again I want to go back to the Bhakti literature. Bhakti literature, as well as there is one more tradition, Vatsyayana tradition also. In Bhakti literature, especially after especially once after Kakatiya dynasty, during especially Vijayanagara dynasty, the Vaishnavism, especially Visishtadvaitam, it became very popular. And everyone knows that again, the Lord or maybe Bhagavan played very important role. So here in Vaishnavism, the Lord Vishnu is a very important person, and Lord Vishnu has control over everyone, including, it means in Madhura Bhakti, even male also became a female, and they started worshipping Lord as a husband, Bhagavan. So there it means Bhagavan has control over everyone, whether male or female. So there, up to that, there is no issue. But when it comes to the Muddupalani, it is completely opposite to the Bhakti tradition also, because first time the women try to control even Lord Krishna. Because Lord Krishna is a Bhagavan. If Lord Krishna controls even Radha, there is no issue. Everyone we could have received that, okay, Lord Krishna is a Bhagavan and he wants to play with even Radha. Up to that, there is no issue. But once when Radha tried to control Krishna, so there is something different. So many devotees, I think it becomes so difficult to even digest. It becomes so difficult to even understand, because their God, or maybe our God, or maybe Bhagavan, who is under the control of women. So that is again problem. And again, Vatsyayana tradition also, because from the beginning to till the date, even everywhere, the entire Vatsyayana text, it talks about the male dominance, and again, how male is going to control the woman. But if women try to control male, especially in physical relationship, so that people cannot even digest, and even they can't even tolerate that one. They don't want to even accept that one. So many people, they thought that it is somehow, it is problematic to that culture. So they want to leave that kind of maybe tradition. So somehow they want to avoid. So when the Britishers, especially the Charles Philip Brown, and one time even Professor Yelchur Muralidhar Rao garu, when I asked about this text, he told me, if Vavila Ramaswamy Shastrulu publish any work, means certainly that is literally, it has some literary values. If they didn't publish and if they didn't look at any work, means that is not a worthful work. They have already left, means that is not a worthful, so one can leave that one. When they have published such kind of text, but Telugu readers, they don't want to accept, because especially the great scholars, I don't want to mention the name of the great scholars, the team, they try to even avoid these kind of thing. When it comes to the even the scholars also, their main target is to give more importance to male authors and their writings, not to the women. That also especially related to this one. Even so-called, I think the person who has written a preface to the Radhika Santwanamu, he is a great scholar, Arudra Garu. Even in his history of Samagrandra Sahityam, the title of history of Telugu literature, his name, that book, there also he used certain words even to Muddupalani and his family also. That I have some kind of maybe objection over that one, because can we talk about same kind of language to other male poets? Is it possible? No, because there he wants to categorically even tell that she is so-called, maybe you can say that maybe Devadasi, or maybe you can say that Rajadasi. So these people, they did not even, their main target is, they don't want to give high priority. They want to show every time that there is some kind of erotic. Because even I have already seen that some of the books published by Telugu Academy, especially some Srinatha Kavyas, there were some erotic poems. They have removed that poem, but they have published. But when it comes to the Muddupalani, they did not even touch that word. So there is no even I think up to certain period, there was no any kind of respect or maybe receive, especially to the Muthupurani. Of course, the book was published, but when how we receive the Telugu audience, that is very important. When it comes to the, again, the second important is that how academics receive Muthupurani, especially the Telugu research. What is strange thing to me, recently, again, once again, 2 years back, we have started working on Muthupurani. Muthupurani is Radhika Santwanam. When I look at the data, the Veldanda Nityananda Rao Gari research work, so there is no any kind of research work on Muthupurani till the date. I found only one work from Tirupati University, that is also from language department. They have worked on only language part, not on literature part. There is only one page about Muthupurani. Nothing is there. This is very brief information about even Muthupurani. I was really surprised. After that, recently only I noticed that one person is working in University of Hyderabad or Radhika Santwanam. I don't know that also whether it is a literature perspective or language perspective. But what is interesting thing, I found few works, research works on Radhika Santwanamu in non-Telugu departments. Miss Aditi, she has completed her MPhil on Radhika Santwanamu from political science department. I found one more student who submitted MA dissertation from Ambedkar University in Delhi. But the interesting thing is that there is no any kind of discussion in academics, especially related to the Muthupurani in Telugu departments. So far I have seen, I don't know what is the logic. Because even the person, I have seen one time, one person told me, one great poet, he just published only, that book also did not even publish, that is under process. They met one great poet and they said that I think you work on this topic. Without publication also, they want to even do MPhil or PhD on that particular topic, but they don't want to look at these kind of work. Many researchers, they have not done. Of course, when it comes to the research, again, we have to think about the department. All Telugu departments I have seen, because nowadays the entire syllabus is available in, even on internet it is available. I have already gone through the several departments syllabus. There is no any information about Muthupurani. Why means especially female teachers also they did not discuss, because they have a kind of some limitation, because from the beginning to till the date, many departments, especially the faculty members are, majority faculty members are from male, so male community. If any woman wants to even talk about that text, or even if they want to include, though the feminism as a one of the paper in a department, they are talking about the feminism from modern literature, but they did not even think about the ancient text or medieval text, especially from Telugu literature. Because why they don't want to include that text? They have some limitation. If anyone wants to tell that, I think we want to include Muthupurani's even text, then automatically there will be a kind of opinion. Oh, Bhagavan, she is talking about Muthupurani means she is something different. So automatically there is a kind of phobia or fear even in female teachers or maybe female students also. But when it comes to the Telugu, non-Telugu academy, it became a prescribed text in several departments. I've seen, even in my department also, it was actually one of the text in Telugu language, even in Ambedkar University, in other department. Why? I don't know what is the reason, because till the date, that notion is there. Even very Professor Yarlagadda Balagangadhar Rao garu, he has written preface, very beautiful preface. He mentioned how Telugu audience has different kind of notion about Muthupurani. So still that kind of notion is there. We have not even received any kind of, maybe, I think even if I found even Telugu articles and even other non-Telugu articles on Google, I found several articles in English than Telugu. I am really surprised. Now, whether it is, I have to even think whether it is whether how the non-Telugu readers are receiving text. Why Telugu readers are still, they don't want to even think about that one, why they want to avoid. I want to just give my just concluding thing. When we look at all this person, all this information, after this discussion, if any Telugu readers, if again they think and again write something about Radhika Santwanam, especially once it enter into the academics, it may become a very useful thing, because we are ready to think about even the feminism and even other isms. But when it look at the even Arudra himself mentioned that even in Samagra Andhra Sahityam, the work and again the entire information, it is really good, especially if you look at the characters and emotions, even the method of presentation, which is completely unique from other male poets, because you need some kind of courage to even talk about these kind of things in 18th century. So we have to think from that perspective. Even in this contemporary situation, we should actually focus on Radhika Santwanam, and we will try to bring this Radhika Santwanam into mainstream Telugu academic. Thank you so much. I am really thankful to my all colleagues, faculty members, students, all participants. There are so many people, great personalities. I don't want to mention everyone by name wise. I'm thankful to everyone. Thanks to Chair.